I'd like to welcome Amy Davis Roth, otherwise known as Surly Amy, to the program. Amy is a jewelry maker and a well-known activist for skepticism, science, and atheism. She specifically works to recruit more women into reason-based activism through writing for the website Skepchick and creating scholarship funds to get women to skepticism conferences. She's here today to discuss an unfortunate series of events, however, related to the pushback against efforts to reduce sexual harassment in skeptic and atheist circles. Welcome to RealityCast, Amy.
Thanks for having me.
So let's talk about what started all this, like the positive activism. So how did sexual harassment become an issue in the first place? And what were the specific demands of people who wanted to bring an end to sexual harassment at skeptic events?
Well, I think it originally started off probably about 4 years ago when I first joined Skepchick, and I started to go to a lot of skeptic and atheist events. And I looked around and I realized that there was a whole heck of a lot more men there than there were women. And at the time, I didn't really think too deeply about it. I just thought, well, what can I do to get more women here? So together with Rebecca Watson on Skepchick and the other writers, we started doing little campaigns or little ways of advertising and promoting events so that we could get more people, to go. It started off with having parties. We would throw parties at different events and promote them just to get more people involved. We would try to get on panels and try to discuss women's issues. And it was, at first it was pretty innocent. We didn't get a lot of pushback until about a year ago when Rebecca gave a talk in a foreign country. And it was, I didn't hear the talk, but it was about women's issues, and she specifically mentioned that she didn't like to get, hit on at events. And she did a little video where she mentioned that she had given this talk, and then she was talking in the bar later that night, and she spoke a lot about not wanting to get hit on, and it was 4 a.m, at which point she said she was very tired, so she went to leave, to go to her room. She thanked everyone and left and headed to an elevator where a man followed her into the elevator and then asked her if she, not to take this the wrong way, but would she like to go have coffee? And all she said in a video describing this was, "Hey guys, don't do that," because it made her feel uncomfortable. It was sort of an offhand comment, something not even a big deal, but for some reason it got picked up by the community and got some extremely violent pushback, to the point where a very famous evolutionary biologist, Richard Dawkins, made a comment in a thread on a blog saying essentially that her problems were ridiculous because there were women in other countries who were having their genitals mutilated. And so we should basically shut up about any sort of feelings that we have about being uncomfortable or being picked up on. So that's sort of when it got crazy. And since that time, a year ago, it has gotten worse and worse because we have continued to speak out against things like sexism and have continued to want to encourage people to go to events. And over time, there has like this group of very vocal, very angry men in the community have sort of created, this war against us that has gotten, at this point, as I'm talking to you today, completely out of control. I mean, we're getting death threats, we're getting rape threats, and constantly every day people are speaking out against us. But I'm still continuing doing all the things trying to encourage women to go to events. So, for example, another problem that we had recently is there's an event called TAM. It's the Amazing Meeting. And registration for women was down. It had, last year, or the event just happened, so